Hi there, I'm Mary Kate at the Bellevue Arts Museum, and today we are going to be making topographical maps of our neighborhoods. So a topographical map will show different elevations of the area that you're displaying. So rather than just showing maybe a road and a lake, it's also going to show the different, like how big a certain hill might be in your neighborhood, or how, we're going to even be making buildings in our topographic map, so it might show how tall a building is. Right now, I am in downtown Bellevue, so my map is going to include the Bellevue Arts Museum, of course. Maybe I'll include Bellevue Square that's located across the street. And just down the road, there is a really cool park with an awesome playground. I think I'm going to try to include that in my map. First things first, you are going to want to go on a walk around your neighborhood and kind of check out, let's see, maybe where there's a hill, maybe where there might be an interesting feature in the landscape. So I know maybe there could be like a giant rock in your neighborhood. Make sure you include that in your map. After you go on your walk around your neighborhood, you're going to want to gather your supplies at home. So today I have just a piece of cardstock. It's a bit hardier than a regular piece of printer paper. I have a map of the Greater Vancouver, British Columbia area. I'm just going to be using this for decoration, not for wayfinding. And then I also have some tissue paper. I have some foam sheets, and I have some markers. So these are all going to help me decorate my map, as well as create the different levels that are required to show the changes in elevation of my neighborhood. If you don't have maybe foam sheets, I know probably most people don't have these at home. You could definitely use maybe like cardboard pieces that you cut up. And I will show you how I'm going to be making the shapes in my map. So first things first, once you get all your supplies, go on your walk, you're going to want to do a nice loose sketch of the neighborhood that you're drawing. So I'm going to draw, let's see, I'm going to draw Bellevue Arts Museum right here. That's like my home base. Let's see, we got Bellevue Way going down here. I'm going to draw the roads that I know. And this is a fun activity to do by memory. It won't produce the most accurate map, but it will show like a kind of an interesting way of how you remember your neighborhood. So I got the art museum. Let's see, I'm going to draw the road that takes me to the park. I know Safeway is over here, so I'll make sure I include that in my map. And I'll do Bellevue Square, the big shopping mall across the street. Okay, and there's a parking lot right here. So I'll draw some parking spaces. All right, so I kind of got a rough draft of my neighborhood going on. The next step is I'm going to first start adding height to my map. So I'm going to look around. I think Bellevue Square is a little bit taller than BAM. So I'm going to make sure that when I make Bellevue Square on my map, it's going to be taller than the building that I'm in right now visually. So what I'm going to do is, this is a really cool trick. So a good way, say I drew my building over there, and I want to make sure that what I cut out from my foam is the same shape. What I'm going to do is flip my paper over to the other side and scribble on the back with my pencil. It's important that you're using a pencil because that's going to help transfer the shape over. So you can kind of see I scribbled along the lines that I initially drew. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to put that scribble side right on my foam sheet, and then I'm going to trace it. By doing this, I'm transferring the shape over to my foam sheet. So you can see it pretty lightly. There is the pencil transfers over to the foam. So that's just going to help me make sure that I cut out an accurate shape. So I'm going to do this. Now that I have this, I'm going to cut a few. I think Bellevue Square might be 4 stories high, so I'm going to cut 4 different foam sheets. Now I'll just trace it. Okay, so all my foam sheets are cut out. Now I'm going to move my scraps over here. I'll recycle those, use them on a different art project. Now I'm going to glue these down. So I got my trusty Elmer's glue. I made sure that it wasn't clogged this morning, and I'm just going to do boop, 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 put my foam sheets down. My art teacher in elementary school taught me that I should be doing dots of glue because then you don't use too much glue, you still get the things to stick down, and I think about that a lot. Okay, so my building, like that, it's going to be 4 foam sheets high. And I'm going to repeat that with all the other buildings that I'm featuring in my map. So maybe you have a few houses on your block that you want to include on your map. Make sure you do that with your foam sheets or your cardboard parts, cardboard boxes. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some color to this. So I know that on the median of Bellevue Way, there's a bunch of really beautiful trees, and I'm looking right now, I see some like grasses. So I'm going to try, what I'm going to do is I'm going to color in the median brown. So let's say that I'm doing this. And then I'm really excited about this part. I'm going to be gluing down tissue paper, kind of crumple it up as if I have little tiny plants on my median. So you can see that. Oh, I was so excited when I thought of this. Because that's one of my favorite things about downtown Bellevue is how many trees are here. So if you ever come in the summertime, it's really green and it's really nice to walk around. And the park is just absolutely beautiful in the summer. So I got a few trees down. Let's see, what am I going to do next? I'm going to use some of my map to kind of fill in some empty space. I think that maps are really beautiful, and they show roads, they show forests, they show rivers. They're really, really interesting, and I think that they make a really good background. So maybe what I'm going to do is move this out of the way. I'm just going to cut out, I'm going to try to fill this area in with some map. So right now, I'm cutting out of West Vancouver. Kind of a shape that's about that. I can always trim it. So you can see I have some interesting details on here. Lots of little tiny roads. I'm going to fold that up. Whoops. Definitely won't be using that to navigate anytime soon. Oop, still a little big. So I'm going to just trim a little off the end. Okay, so I'll glue this down. Great. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue to use my markers to decorate more of the map. So I'm going to kind of, I think one of the areas that I'm going to emphasize is the crosswalk that I use when I go to Safeway, sometimes to pick up my own lunch or my groceries for the week. So I'm going to decorate that area. You may want to emphasize certain parts of your neighborhood that you really like. So like I was saying, maybe there's a big rock in your neighborhood, or maybe there is a bird's nest that you've started to notice, and there are little tiny birds chip, 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 chippy in your bird's nest. So yeah, make sure that you're emphasizing the parts of your neighborhood that you love. So maybe you could give this map to someone who has never been to your neighborhood before, and you can say, these are the areas that are really important to me. Okay, now I'm gonna really get to work on my map. Okay, so as you can see, I've added a whole bunch of stuff to my map, And I was thinking while I was making this that it would be really cool at home. Maybe you wanted to find out which direction is pointing north, so you can use a compass. I know that some phones have compasses on them now, so you can use that to help orient your map. I was also thinking that it would be really cool to kind of have a key, a map key. So if you look at a map like this one that I've cut up of Vancouver, there will be different explanations for why some roads are yellow, what it means when the land is green, what it means when it's blue. So maybe you can include a map key on your map so that it's easier for a reader to understand it. Other than that, I think I'm pretty happy with how my map looks, and I can't wait to share this with one of my really good friends who works at BAM and see if they can find their way around Bellevue using my map. All right, thank you so much. See you around.